All right, we're live. We are live on the internets now. All right, let's start the things. Hi, everybody out there in New Jersey Revolution Radio Land. We're just about to start the music and do the show and do the thing. So while you're watching this, share out. You can be seeing us on Twitter. You could be seeing us on Facebook right now. You could be seeing us on YouTube or many other ways. So just go and hit a share button. I'm gonna start the music and we're gonna get ready. We've been gone. We took a week off, but we're back. New Jersey Revolution Radio Live with Diane and Brian. Let's get going here. Hello, everybody. This is Brian Powers, and it's Wednesday night. We are live, New Jersey Revolution Radio Studios North. I'm here with my partner, Diane Moxley. Hi, Diane. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Doing good. We took a week off. I know I didn't really announce it. We did say, I even said like in the last show that we had, we're going to be doing housing justice at the next one. But you know what? It was the Martin Luther King holiday. It was really a lot going on. I know we both had a lot. And we did like a ton of great shows in a row. Yeah, and I think we needed a little rest and recharge. So we're sorry for taking the unexpected week off. But I think I was able to recharge my batteries. What'd you do with your extra time? Well, you just did more work on other stuff, didn't you?
Yeah. I just work every day.
We all do.
I was doing my schedule today.
Uh-oh.
And I was like using an old schedule. You know, your to-do list.
Right.
I always do to-do lists.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're 2 pages long. And I chuckled in the middle of my last to-do list was to schedule a day of relaxation.
Oh.
I haven't done that.
And yeah, you know what? If you don't schedule it, you don't. And even you try like the other day. And I went to Maine, by the way. So I did have some relaxation time.
Cool.
I did get away. But even like the other, like I had a couple of really hard days in where we worked over the weekend. Weed, Women, and Wellness went on. Diane, our other Diane is here today. Diane Quas is here with us today, helping us with social media. She came down with us, took a little road trip down to the Cherry Hill Women's Center, and had a great time. But I worked all weekend, so I even tried to like sleep in on Monday. I couldn't take no time off. Yeah, people are emailing me, people are messaging me, but I did take advantage of the time to go to Maine. Went around I took a little bit of cannabis tourism. I'm up there with the family, but you know, it's the time to visit. They have a very robust medical cannabis program in Maine. It's been around for years. Oh, wow. And you may have heard us complain here about New Jersey's medical marijuana program, where I go and I may have to pick from one kind of weed that really doesn't do much for me. And up there, 9, 10 different strains of marijuana, wow. $25, $30, $35 eighths. Here you're paying $60.
Wow.
Edibles, oils, all kinds of the topical rubs and all kinds of stuff that, we don't have available here in New Jersey. And the key part about it, I thought, was really, it was all mom and pop stores. They're not, these are local farmers. Good. They got their store. They've got this local distribution set up because it's still federally illegal and you can't do this interstate commerce. They really set it up.
Sorry.
So that's okay. So that it's, that it's a real boon for the local economy. People, farmers that were having trouble growing crops, people are getting jobs, and they're all over, and they were awesome. And I really had a great time. And I want to give a shout out when we go to commercials. I'm going to give a shout out to the dispensary. I went and let me take some pictures and stuff there. Actually, I'm going to have one here while I'm talking.
Cool.
No, of course
not.
Okay. I do want it. The Sensi Side Gallery is the head shop that I was at. And that's in Farmington, Maine. And and then I'll find out the name. And here's the dispensary that I was at.
Okay.
Cannabis Naturals. And this is in Farmington, Maine. It's on 232 Broadway. They didn't pay me, by the way. This is not an official plug.
Okay.
But they were just awesome. And they talked me through. So if you're in Maine, you can buy 2.5 ounces with your card. They honor the New Jersey card in Maine. So I suggest going up there and doing a little cannabis tourism. It was a nice trip.
Good.
But I'm back in New Jersey. And we have politics going on in my local political party. And
in your local
political party, my dear friend Diane Moxley texted me the other day. She wants me to sign a petition of some sort. For those of you that aren't into the Green Party, Diane and I are both very active. I've been on the executive council for years. I think I get kicked off at the end of this year because I've been on for 4 years in a row.
Is there a bar in our bylaws?
Yeah, and it should be enforced strictly, and I got to get kicked out of that council. But I've been on it. No, we love working with the Greens, but for those who don't know, Greens have a primary going on. Yep. The most talked about name in the primary has been Howie Hawkins. He's probably the most right. This is a guy that's been running as a Green for many years, run for different levels of office, but he's got some competition. We had a Green Party debate here on New Jersey Revolution Radio, which was actually, in my mind, kind of missing the other primary challenger, if you will, so to speak, that's being taken a little more seriously, was Daryle Hunter, who's involved. But we had some of the other candidates on who are probably less serious about, about being able to capture this nomination, but are still nonetheless in the running. And I guess are you public about your support for a particular candidate? I don't want to out you here on the air. Now, we're not functioning as a Green Party. We got our own individual positions, just like any other political party. Everybody I think there's this idea like, oh, you're all Jill Stein, you're all Ralph Nader. No, we argue about our candidates too. We have debate about our candidates.
Have internal fights.
Absolutely.
Green Party of New Jersey, within Green Party GPUS.
Yeah.
Of course.
And
I guess I think some people know I am supporting Howie Hawkins, and I am also a member of the Socialist Party.
That's right.
So I love the idea of trying to create left unity. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens during the Democratic primary, to see if a whole lot of people are done in again by the evil corporate-controlled DNC, which we're all hearing stories right now about the chaos. I don't know if you saw that Lee Camp clip today. The YouTube.
I did.
Yeah.
It was honestly a pretty decent political analysis.
Yeah.
And the superdelegate thing that he brought up, and he was talking about how, and maybe you should explain what he talked about, because that's scary.
Yeah. And I think especially the local progressive Democrats around us in New Jersey, a lot, they're good comrades. I think we all respect and appreciate each other. So I'm not saying anything they don't know about. Right. They're trying to fix it from within. I think they know the tough road they have, and we've heard there's even members within the DNC, even that might not even be progressive Dems, that understand it looks too much like a corporate lock, like very conservative establishment party leaders just keep a tight hold on things. And we know everyone complained about the superdelegates last time. We actually have more superdelegates this time. And I guess as a compromise, it's that the superdelegates can't vote until the pledged delegates vote once. And then if they're in a deadlock, if they have no clear winner, then the superdelegates come into play. And that's why we're seeing, I believe there are still 9 formally declared Democratic candidates running, right? I believe it's 9.
Is it that few? They were up to like 15 or 16. Well, making the stage of the debates, is it 9? There may be more that are
not
just
even
kind
on
of like
the
we don't
debates,
even know
remember
about.
we have Bloomberg.
I'll be honest with you, people have dropped out, and I've been like, who?
You're still running?
Right?
Yeah. I watched the first debate. Well, not the first debate. I watched the last debate was the first debate I've watched, because it was just so insane with so many candidates, and it's so early that they started the debates.
Yeah.
And I think it was Tom Steyer. I'm like, who the hell's that? Oh yeah, that's that Steyer guy. I'm like, where did he come from? He's still in there?
Well, he was running from even before Trump got inaugurated. He was running ads to start to build a list.
He's Mr. Moneybags.
Yeah,
so he's going to buy his way. And then we have Bloomberg that doesn't even give 2 shits about whether or not he's even going to qualify for any of the Democratic debates. And he's only qualified in 47 state primaries. He doesn't care. So he does. A lot of people have been saying for a while, why is he running? He can't get into debates because he's not taking individual funds. He's self-funded.
Right.
He's polling terribly. He's polling negatively practically. so bad.
I mean, the guy's a megalomaniac.
Yeah. Well, the
It's-
other idea is they need all of these neoliberals on the side wings. And he's barely a neoliberal. He's a Republican who kind of was an independent, who's now a Democrat. I remember months ago when they first started talking about his name being thrown in, I was like, oh, that's great. Trump's going to have a challenger. And I'm like, oh, wait, that's right. He's a Democrat now. I'm like, why are the Democrats mad?
He got elected mayor as a Republican, right?
Yeah.
And
then he went independent for a bit. Now he's a Democrat. So, I mean, he's kind of even worse than a neoliberal.
With a lot of money.
So, yeah, he's staying in the side wings so that when the convention becomes contested, people are saying he might be one of the ones that's going to be picked by the superdelegates.
Wouldn't that be crazy?
That would be insane.
Yeah, you got it. At that point, we're looking at a violent revolution. I mean, how do you even you can't especially if it's Bernie. Like as Lee Camp did say, it's like the idea is, Lee can't, he wins, but it's not decided in that second round of voting. These guys come in and let's just say what does he got to get? Let me just technically speaking, for Bernie to walk into that convention and win outright in the first round, does he need a plurality of votes, a majority? What is
honestly, I didn't brush up on the rules before this segment, but it is very, if anybody wants to chime in,
knows we could help us out,
and it's just going to be very interesting if they have, 5 or 6 candidates that hold their delegates until the convention.
All right. We got off the subject though.
Yeah.
Oops. We did get off the subject. And Daryl's in here. So Howie Hawkins.
Cool. Yes.
And I started off really liking Howie, but I've gone kind of pro Howie. I'm not going to knock Howie. You're not going to hear me go off on Howie here today. But I've gone a little more neutral, and I want to hear from Daryle. And I haven't heard from Daryle. Daryl's not made his way to New Jersey yet. Sednam came by, did a little swing through on a campaign. I got a chance to work with her a little bit and talk to her a little bit.
She came. Yeah.
Liked her. I liked her personally.
Shout out to Sednam and David Roll.
David Rowley came by with her.
Out. And we have a lot of good dedicated Greens in the race. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's very hard to run a national campaign. The machine you need, period.
Yeah.
And then I am questioning some of the candidates that I think they think you can run I think they think you can run a presidential campaign solely on social media.
Nah.
There is life outside of Facebook and Twitter. There really is. And you have to do other things. So yeah, it's hard, but I'm going with Howie. Like I said.
Did you give Daryle? Do you feel you gave Daryle because you kind of made my lawyer? Do you feel you've given the other candidates a fair chance? Do we think we've given Daryle a chance? I mean, I heard him and I like the guy. Although I'll admit, Howie is way more fleshed out on policy. He's way more fleshed out on infrastructure and how to run a campaign. But that's a factor of his age and been around a long time. And he's got the support of the existing kind of Green Party. And Daryle's newer face hasn't been in the party that long, which has been used to beat him up a little bit. He hasn't been around that long. His political views have developed rapidly in the last few years. Yeah.
And that's great that you're developing and you're listening to people and you're changing your positions. But I mean, I believe Daryle is a good guy who is evolving. And for me, I just feel that if I had, if we had Daryle to pick from or Howie to pick from, it almost goes with I hear this from the Bernie campaign that for people that are supporting him, he's been consistent. You know what you're getting. So for Howie, it's not the matter of evolving into your politics. I think a little bit more that what you're getting is what you're getting. It's solid. It's strong in these positions. I had the opportunity when we had the Socialist National Convention a few months ago in Newark. I sat down with your good friend Pat Noble, Howie, and I.
Boy, yes.
We had a really long discussion. It might have been about 2 hours in between parts of the convention, and I learned so much from Howie, being able to sit down and just have
he's smart
3 people in one conversation. And Pat Noble is very solid in his leftist political theory, And yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of Howie Hawkins has just been at this longer, and the positions I'm pretty close to lockstep with his positions. So I know there's some issues. I'm not going to say everything right now, but when we're talking about the things that really matter, the core issues that are going to matter, there's nothing wrong there. So yeah, were you going to get into what we're doing with Howie? Go ahead. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that's kind of keeping me a little bit neutral right now is one, I haven't heard enough from Daryle to give him a fair chance, and we have time, right? We have till June or July. We're all going to go to Detroit. We're going to have a good time and pick our nominee. So I just feel like, I did kind of jump on the Howie bandwagon early. I'll admit, you probably be able to look back and say I support Howie Hawkins, and I've said that, and maybe I should have not said it a little early, but I never came out and said I'm fully endorsing him or anything like that. But I like Howie, and I've supported him in the past, so I don't have any problem saying that I like him. I got no problems with being the nominee.
Yeah.
I just want to hear out Dario, and if he's listening and if he hears us, come on the show, swing by New Jersey, let us know what you're about. I do know other Greens that I've spoke to want to look at. And I guess the idea, like you said, Howie's got the experience, but Dario's a younger guy. And given this year, and look, Bernie Sanders is running, and you can already feel the energy being sucked out of us a little bit.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
A lot of grassroots activists, people are involved in issue-based stuff. People that are involved with the Greens are campaigning for Bernie. And that's just what it is, man. I'm not mad about it.
I
wish it didn't.
I
wish it didn't. I wish people would stick and build this party with us. But it's what's going to happen, and we hope that they come back and continue to understand that the Green Party and building independent parties is more important than that work. But hey, it's free country; they get to do what they want, right?
Yeah.
But given all this energy going in, I'm wondering how much energy and what kind of image we need to project to really grow the party, not from a winning. And Howie, to his credit, talks about this all the time: getting organizers on the ground, helping local elections, that kind of stuff. And so his ideas are great, his platform's great, everything. I just wonder if he's the one to be at the head of it when Dario is clearly a better speaker. He's more enthusiastic, and he gets people. He doesn't have the substance that Howie has. And I see them both as bringing something to the table. And I would love to see them work together a little more closely.
Yeah.
Because I think you do have a style and substance together with the both of them. They can project something awesome for our party. And I know, of course, during these primaries, they're sniping back and forth and stuff. And I do hope they take it all with a grain of salt, because I like both of them. And I think Daryle has something to offer the Green Party. I really do.
Sure.
Sure.
Well,
that's where I'm at.
But I'm just going to say, I don't think Dario and Howie have been sniping at each other.
Well, I mean, policy debate. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any, mom jokes.
No.
I'm just saying.
Personal.
Nothing too personal.
I respect that. And, politics is politics, right? Even within GPNJ.
It has to be.
I had my own experience, and you have to have a thick skin.
You do.
I'm not going to get into all the details, but when I was seeking the nomination to run for Congress in CD7, I had to have some Teflon panties on, and I wrote it out. And it's okay. If you're going to run for office, you've got to take some heat. And I think one thing I'd say, I think Dario and Howie are both very capable at dealing with that. And that's what you need to run for office.
Both of them have confidence. Both of them project very well. Both of them, I think, would represent our party very well. And Dario, if you're listening, we ain't forgot about you, buddy. Sorry you missed the debate. We owe you an appearance, man. We owe you an appearance. And
send a message, an email.
Listen, Diane's out there hitting the bricks for Howie. I'm just saying, you got to get over here quick, because that's if the machine gun is running, then, you ain't got much time. So come on over. And I want to thank all the Green. I mean, listen, if you're into the Green Party politics and you're following the stuff or you're talking about it, I think it's good that we have a couple of candidates in this race that we can debate about and talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully that's going to lead to good things.
Absolutely.
We're gonna bring into our studio right now, comrade Daryle Lamont Jenkins. Daryle, how are you today?
I'm doing well. A little busy today, so yeah, I can't complain.
Cool, man. Cool. So Daryle is with the IDAVOX report, and I'm gonna go over there. I'm gonna get Diane, we have Diane and Diane in studio today, and blonde Diane I know is going to want to talk about her favorite person coming to Wildwood. Daryle, how you been, man? Where you want to start? You want to start in Wildwood? Where you and Diane take it from? I'm gonna take a break and adjust the microphone.
Okay, and I'm gonna give and Daryle can chime in. So Daryle is with the One People's Project, as Brian said. The platform is IDAVOX, in which Daryle does, shall we call it,
Reporting.
Nazi racist tracking?
Yes,
And
pretty much.
Keeping us up to date on what Nazi racists are where. You're also an Oscar winner, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I mean, I co-produced a short film last year that won an Oscar, and it's called Skin. And actually, just last week, I was with the director at a synagogue up on 65th in New York to talk about the film and talk about where we go from here as a people, using the film as a template, as a rather a foundation of that discussion. And if y'all saw the short film, you would wonder how can they, but what, for those who haven't seen the short film, you can see it on YouTube. It's put out there by Fox Searchlight.
Okay.
And there's also a feature film also called Skin, and it stars Jamie Bell, it stars Fear Farmiga, Danielle McDonald, and Mike Coulter, who plays me. So,
Excellent.
and that you can find on Amazon Prime, and we're trying to get it in some theaters locally.
1 second, Daryle.
Can you hear me?
Just lost it, so whatever you did.
Want to see your phones?
I don't think it's them.
Daryle, talk for a minute. Say
Say
hi.
something.
Talk for a minute. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I am talking relatively low because it's
just count, Daryle. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Tom Follett can hear me. So can it's all good.
So you were just talking about the feature film. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Is the feature film available to our listeners and viewers? How are they able to?
Yes, it's available. It's available on Amazon Prime.
Oh, excellent.
I believe you can still see it on video on demand.
Okay.
If you want to get it in your theaters, in some local theater, just hit me up and I can make that happen. I can direct you to the people that can put it in your theater for whatever event that you will want to put on. But soon it will be, I guess, will be on DVD and Blu-ray at some point.
Oh, excellent! So you'll keep
if it isn't there yet. I should check and see.
Okay. And what is the best way for people to get in touch with you?
You can reach me through either, especially through onepeoplesproject.com. You can always just hit me up on up there.
Okay, excellent. And you were also featured in the documentary Alt-Right Age of Rage. There's some really tough footage in there because that was the filming took place at the Charlottesville alt-right. Gosh, with those crazy tiki torch evil people. So we were talking about thin skin and thick skin. You must have very thick skin. And we're talking about skin. So dealing with these racists, and you had a day with racists yesterday, didn't you?
Yeah, I was over in Wildwood. It was funny because it was my first time in Cape May, and I've lived here all my life. And my first time in Wildwood, first time in Cape May. And
oh, it was your first time in Wildwood.
Oh yeah.
Met a good friend.
And it was pretty interesting to see everybody out there. And I met a few of the Trump supporters, talked with them. I saw a guy that interviewed me at a Proud Boy event last January. Last January, July. His name was Elad. He's one of those right-wing libertarian reporters. I talked to him off camera while I was there, just rapping to him about a few things. Can
I ask you, where did you see him at last July?
Oh, at a Proud Boy rally.
Where was that at?
In Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Proud Boys held a rally in Washington, D.C. to basically promote free speech. And by that, they mean they shouldn't be kicked off of Twitter and Google Plus and Facebook. So they were a little upset about that. So they decided to hold a rally to protest, saying that they have the right to be on Facebook and Twitter. Never mind the fact that they were basically denying Facebook and Twitter the right to decide who they want on their platforms.
Yeah,
So,
they're a private entity. They're not state actors. So
yeah, I mean, we wish they would do a little bit
Right.
better, be a little bit more. We wish they would be a little bit more efficient in that regard, but
Yeah.
it is what it is.
yeah. Yeah.
So you ran into a friend. I wanted to play a clip real quick, Daryle. I did want to play a clip. So do you want to preface this, or do you want to let's watch the clip and then explain who Mr. D'Ambly is, or do you want to?
Well, Dan D'Ambly runs an outfit called the New Jersey European Heritage Association, and for the past several years, since about 2017, we've been aware of him. His group basically just goes around, post flyers. Sometimes they come out and protest, counter protest various events. The last one that folks might have saw him in was this event. I can't recall if it was an anti-war event or what have you, but it was in Newark. Him and some other idiots that was with him were masked up and just basically yelling and screaming at those that were protesting. I think it was an anti-war thing. I'm not sure, but we know Mr. D'Ambly from Charlottesville. He was one of the folks that was in both Unite the Right, so in 2017 and 2018. And like I said, basically his group likes to just post their decals and flyers all over the country, and it's all a big recruiting game. They announced that they was going to have a rally about a year ago in Princeton, so people mobilized around that, and they didn't even show up. So
let's see how brave he was, because Dan got ran into for a moment there by our good friend Daryle. Let's see the reaction when Daryle ran into his now becoming an acquaintance of his, Dan D'Ambly. Here he is.
I just want to make sure I got you on video, bro. Just want to make sure you're everybody sees you, and everybody knows that there's a Nazi in the area.
Wow.
Look at him run.
Dan. Run for your life. Beat it. He's a Nazi.
Oh, you cut it off too soon there, man.
No, I was just telling somebody that he was a Nazi.
I know, but
Yeah, you got to let people know. They're, Nazis are amongst us, and we need to
So those are podcasts
identify
who don't
Nazis.
get to see this wonderful live stream here on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and all the other. You see Dan look up, see Daryle with a camera, and then you see Dan run away.
Well, I should be fair about something. That was actually the second video that I shot. The first video, at least I thought I was shooting video at the time, and I'm really angry that I didn't get this video. But I saw him because basically the reason why I was there, I was looking for my Nazis. I was looking for various individuals that I thought might be there. And he was one of them.
Wow.
And I just happened to be standing near the Wildwood sign, and there he was. So I'm passing out flyers to people. So I thought I turned on my camera. Excuse me. I thought I turned on my camera, and I go up to him and ask him for a flyer. And he goes, no, you're Daryle Lamont Jenkins. You got me doxxed, and you had people slash my tires, and he started flipping out, threatening to sue me and all this nonsense. And I thought I had it on video, and I didn't. So I decided to make up for it by going up to him that second time, and that's what you see. And then he called me a terrorist and all that nonsense.
Oh wow.
But it was an interesting day because like I said, there was a lot of interesting folks that were there. There was one particular area where you had the folks that were against Trump. They had the Trump inflatable baby up, and there was about maybe 200 or 300 of them, and there was about a couple of thousand Trump supporters all over the place. Diane wasn't the only person that anybody saw of the Nazi side. Patriot Front made an appearance. I believe we know who it was that Jared Holt had came across. Basically, there was only but a few of us. It was funny because there was only but a few of us that were actually there to look for the Nazis.
Okay.
And Patriot Front puts a flyer in the hands of one of them. And for those who don't know, Patriot Front is an offshoot of a group called Vanguard America, which was also in Charlottesville, and kind of under the banner that James Fields was marching with. He was marching with Vanguard America. And as you know, James Fields went on to kill Heather Heyer with his car.
Oh God.
But Vanguard America, Patriot Front is a split off group of Vanguard America. And we recently ended up on Channel 11 because we had some video of them dropping a banner. They didn't expect us to be there. They normally like to do, just like NJEHA, they like to sneak around and post flyers and drop banners. They don't want to be seen. Unfortunately for them, when they was in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, they were seen and videotaped, and their pickup truck had pictures of the pickup truck taken. So we posted all that on Idavox. And by the way, Idavox is idavox.com. If you want to see any of the news stories that we write there. So we've been following Patriot Front for a while, and we had a feeling that they were going to be at the Wildwood event, and sure enough, there they were. And I believe the person that was there that passed out the flyers was the guy in the blue pickup truck, the guy who owned the blue pickup truck. So we'll find out.
Making connections. Yeah. I mean, at least, I know there's too many of them. You can't have, we can't have too few. We need no Nazis, right?
Right.
So,
actually, I have a shirt that says that. No Nazis. But,
no Nazis. Yeah. So no number is a good number of Nazis.
Yeah.
I was going to say they seem to be small, but for some reason they can travel all over the place. Because I know there was something even in Portland. Was that about a year ago? They're in DC. They're in Charlottesville. And it's the same guys frequently, right?
Yeah, it is often.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important for us to recognize that, because it gives you an idea of how small they are. They're small enough where it has to be the same person everywhere you go.
Yeah. you get to know them well, and they know who you are, but you're brave, continuing to fight the fight to eradicate our country from all Nazis. And it's so uncomfortable to say that. People actually almost think that there's something wrong with saying you're anti-fascist.
That's going to happen.
Anti-Nazi. Right?
See, that's the problem. People have got to stop listening to the right-wing narrative on subjects. I mean, right-wing narratives are the reason why we called it partial birth abortion for a long time, until we woke up and said, no.
Term abortions that are rarely ever done. Yep.
Exactly. But the thing is, we listen to the right-wing narrative all the time. We hear they're prolific all over the media while they complain about the liberal media being prolific. And as a result, we start adopting what it is that they believe by default, and it's wrong.
Yeah.
If you do not like fascism, if you truly are about freedom, you're going to be anti-fascist. You're going to be Antifa. So if they are coming after Antifa, they're coming after you.
Absolutely.
And and I'm not talking to you on a political bent kind of level. I mean, I'm talking to anyone that is about making sure that everyone has human rights, making sure everybody can get the most out of this society. Yeah. So if you see people in the way of that, hey.
All right, we gotta get going, Daryle, because we gotta get to our main guest.
All right.
We want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Take care.
All that you do. Thank
you.
All right, so everybody, Idavox report. Of course, you can find Daryle, Lamont, Jenkins, Alt-Right, Age of Rage, the full featured film Skin, idavox.com or One People's Project. Check him out. And he's going to be, of course, Daryle's always busy. He's got new projects coming out like every day, it seems like. So check it out. Right. Sponsors table tonight. on the hammer and sickle. Of course, another favorite object of mine is a double-barreled water pipe. I don't know if you can see that over here. That's what that is.
I think you're moving the camera by mistake.
Whatever, but
it's okay.
Anyway, this double-barreled water pipe, it comes from Noble's Smoke Shop in Point Pleasant Beach. We check you out on Arnold Avenue there. Great deals on Kratom. They have all kinds of glassware. We help design a website for Noble Smoke Shop. New Jersey Revolution Radio does website design as part of our business to help fund this operation. So they're just getting off the ground now. They don't have all their products up, but you can see the great work that we do. Kratom, CBD, a gigantic variety of cigars, plus, your typical bodega items of candy and pretty good coffee too. I've been down there doing our meetings as we move along, and we got some great coffee. So check it out one more time. That's Noble's Smoke Shop in Point Pleasant Beach. Stop by and make sure you heard about them on tell them you heard about them on New Jersey Revolution Radio while you're there. Diane, friends of ours are writing books, and that's cool that I know people that write books,
right?
Isn't it?
Right.
Who's writing a book?
We have impressive friends.
We really do.
So NJRR's dear friend Margaret Kimberly has her book release party. Ooh. That is this coming up Tuesday, February 4th. It is in the foreign country of New York City at the People's Forum. But some of us, because we love Margaret Kimberly so much, and we're so excited to read this book. I can't wait to read and possess this book. Oh, your visa's not valid.
I want to see if my visa is valid to go overseas. I may go to this party because Margaret's just such a hero of mine. And I want to see I want to read this book.
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
Is a good book.
And yeah, let me just tell our listeners, the book is Prejudential: Black America and the Presidents. So she goes over every single president. And yeah, I mean, we had we're talking about getting rid of Nazis. Well, we had a lot of racist presidents, and we're just going to talk about the ones that maybe didn't even appear racist. It's all in the book. And we had Margaret Kimberly on, and she's always a wonderful interview. So, yes,
right.
Brian's going to go. We're all going to go. You should come. And there is a Facebook event Tuesday, February 4th, book release party for Margaret Kimberly.
All right. Thank you very much. And so on the line now, Ascari, are you still there? Can you hear us, brother?
Oh, yeah, I'm still there.
All power, all power. All right. So on the line, Ascari Trills from the new African Black Panther Party. Glad to have us. We had a little connection issue, so he's got him on the phone right now. But this is a group that, we've been watching for about a year now. I guess they've been, I don't know when Shaka came out and started making noise, but clearly caught our attention right away.
Yeah, just about a year ago, I'd say. Just about a year.
And they're getting bigger and they're more involved with new stuff. So Ascari is here tonight to talk to us about what's going on with the new African Black Panther Party, UPM projects, all that type of stuff. Welcome to the show, Ascari. Nice to see you.
Thank you. All power to the people, everybody. So, that was a beautiful introduction. My name is Ascari. I'm a member of the new African Black Panther Party. I was a former member of the United Panther Movement, and I still work with a couple of the members in my circle today. Right now, our group is focusing on Southern and Serving People program and the projects of Black Corps over on South Florence Avenue. We're focused on starting a child daycare program where we're going to instill some socialist and communist beliefs within the children. Hopefully they can learn how to start a community that is for the people rather than competing against one another in a capitalist manner, which only serves to divide rather than unify. This is in the works right now. We're getting together the funding. The lesson plan is already made. It's just, all we have to do right now is execute and organize and execute in that order. So we're looking forward to big things. Colleague of mine, Shaka Zulu, he's definitely been a big part in helping me growing in my education and me advancing from the mass organization of the UPM into the NABPP. Shout out to the Central Committee. Can't thank them enough for helping me grow as a revolutionary and as a person. They've been doing Serve the People programs over on Springfield Avenue and Central Avenue as well. And so not Central Avenue, excuse me, on Broad and Market downtown.
Mm.
They've been having free barbecues over the summer. They've been, doing political education, school to school, library to library, making sure the folks are educated on what exactly is going on and what should be the people's stance on politics, which we should all believe to be MLM, which would be Marxist-Leninism, Maoist theory, and communism, and why we oppose capitalism and why capitalism is not good for anybody in current today's time.
Mm.
So, everybody's been working extremely hard, trying to spread the good word. And right now, also, what I want to work with Brian here is I also want to organize, trying to unify a lot of the leftist organizations around New Jersey, specifically around Essex County and surrounding area. I want to take a lot of the socialist parties and communist parties and have us rally under at least one banner or one understanding that we all need to start working together in order to achieve our goals a little bit better. Because what is the sense of using the word comrade if we're not going to employ it to its fullest definition?
Absolutely.
We are allies within the struggle against the capitalist imperialism, and hopefully we can all join hands and lock arms and say we're going to fight against this one. That's my biggest idea. So,
I love that idea. So hopefully really, really, really soon, we could have some type of organizational meeting where, as you said, we get the Socialist Party, the Party for Socialism and Liberation has a membership in New Jersey, and just whatever left group you are, I think it would be wonderful for us to all sit down together and really show the solidarity that we should have towards each other, even if we have slightly different theories and ideas on, anything from electoral strategy to, like I said, even our political theories might be not all in complete lockstep. I think we have more in common, and can figure out a way that we could all benefit. So I would look forward to doing that. Yeah.
I believe we all have more in common than we do so as opposed to interest, because a lot of people, clearly those who have socialist or communist in the name, there's no sense in trying to pretend as if we are out here for different goals or interests or agendas or things of that nature. Obviously, we're here. Rhetoric while people are out here suffering every day. People are out here working 9 to 5 in North. They can't get clean water. They can't get decent housing without rats and roaches. How you paying your taxes, but you can't get any type of decent and affordable living without having to come out of pocket?
Yeah.
They're gonna eat you out of house and home, trying to just get you to even get the basic needs of survival.
Yeah.
Your kids can't even eat food at school if you don't have enough money after paying the rent and keeping the gas and electric on. That's a big problem. How can you sit there as somebody who makes the world go round? You work the so-called menial jobs in your city. You might be an electrician. You might be a plumber. You might be a school teacher. You might even work for the store. You might work for the convenience store around the corner. You might even be a superintendent for one of the apartments. You might even be somebody who sleeps up and down the street downtown Newark every day. And somehow you're not able to live with clean water, education, or housing for your kids. We can't keep on having that. And that's not just for black people. That's for a lot.